Okay, got all that on video. All right, here we are. We are live on YouTube, IMC TV. What up? This is Tony Kazmiski, aka TK here, live streaming on Beyond Clarity. Today's topic: when you feel like giving up. Oh, keep this guy on watch. I'm not going to say it, but it's what I've been going through lately, and it's something that actually has something, someone who I felt pretty close to me just recently gave up on everything. We'll call him Joey. I'm not going to give his full name here, just for out of respect. But I am gonna dedicate this live stream in his honor, and I'm also going to give a few disclaimers here. Do not break the laws of the land that you live in. This is for all audiences. If you have children with you, your discretion is advised. So definitely have a parent or guardian with you if you are under 18. And normally it's for women, but this is put out to the public. Anyone could join. And why do we just have women on Alpha Academy and other IMC private Zoom meetings? Is because certain things can only be shared, when there's women and children around. So since this is live on YouTube, I am going to keep things under control. I'm not going to say certain things just so I don't get dinged, because you say certain things, like if I would have said the S word, if someone is going through some tough times where they're thinking about ending themselves, well, that could be possibly dinged on YouTube. And I understand there's people going through it right now, and that's one reason why that's the topic of discussion here, because I just had it happen to me actually on my birthday. Someone that I just recently talked to, making plans. Long story short, back when and by the way, I'm gonna move around. Normally I just stand. I'm supposed to sit still, but I'm going for a walk. I'm feeling kind of antsy right now, and I'm gonna move around. So if you are easily dizzy or and it's something that I'm working on, like right now I'm just gonna stand still. But if you get dizzy watching me moving around, looking around, just listen. If you don't like it, give me an example of how to sit still and talk about something. And I believe that this is gonna help someone out there, no matter what you're going through. I'm gonna quick check Telegram, make sure people can get in if they're trying to. Whoa, who's that? Okay. All right, here we go. So back when I would play at this one of the biggest venues in the Midwest, the Rave DJ. I was a pay-to-play DJ. And quick side note, if you can't draw a crowd of 20 or more, why should you be playing at one of the biggest venues in the Midwest? I actually just talked to a DJ, one of the OGs in Milwaukee, I guess you would say, and found out some things about him that I'm not going to say on here, but it's kind of like one of those guys where, if you want to keep an eye on him, let's just put it that way. They say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And here I am, walking around my neighborhood talking on my phone, and I don't care because I know that I'm here with you, my IMC Nation brothers and so on out there on the other side who needs to hear this. I'm actually going to walk this way because there's a lawnmower there. And I got my headset on, so I might pick up things And I don't got my tribal shirt on. I don't got my beads on. My beard's not the best looking, but I'm putting this out there. And I'm also going to share something that just recently happened to me as well. So we're catching up with this dude. And first time we talked, we both been in the scene, him 20 years, me probably 15. And we finally have a sit down, like talk to each other heart to heart, getting chills right now, share the same mutual friend. And I actually helped him with some things. He had a tail light out. And my friend and I, on our way back, was like, if you're drinking and driving and you got a tail light out, you're setting yourself up for disaster. So I ended up messaging him the next day, and I let him know, because even if someone, does you or your friend wrong, would you still want to have them in a situation? What up, Ryan G? Where they could get
What's up?
arrested, get an OWI. So I told him about that. Back when I was a proud pay to play the DJ at the rave, I make some good connections, some bad. Well, this young man named Joey served me beer, and he hooked me up. And came to find out we shared the same mutual friend. I'd invite him to parties, cookouts, hang out. I helped him with the project. Kind of find out he was in a band where all the members had an OWI, and they're like in their early 20s too. And I'm like, back then that was cool, but now, yeah. So back when DJ AM and was it Travis Barker, the drummer of Blink 182, he's a drummer in one of those big name bands. They did a collaboration where it was a DJ and drummer, and they fucking killed it. They went on tour. I remember Vegas was pretty popular. So I had Joey play the drums during my DJ set at this event called Stellar Spark. I believe Skrillex was the headliner that night. I played on one of the side rooms, and I ended up playing 3 times. One was on the second main stage with a young man, a friend of mine who I kind of was taking under my wing, getting him into the scene. The second time I played that night was on the side stage with Joey, where I DJ'd. He played the drums, and for not practicing, we actually did pretty good. And the third time, when I was blackout drunk, and there was a slot open on the same stage, and I played. I don't even remember playing. So bad. Anyways, Joey and I get reacquainted the last couple months, and he's got these sober awareness events, Rockin' the Recovery. This Saturday I was actually supposed to play at. And we talk, we catch up like old friends, and we were planning on collaborating again. I'm getting chills right now. What up, Joey? And he asked me a personal question I was gonna help him with, okay, fine. And I told him, I'm like, everyone's going through it. If they need help or need advice, I'm here for you. And Ryan looks deep in thought, like really concentrating. And what do you know? I'm aimlessly scrolling on Facebook, and through a mutual friend who was actually going to set me up with the stage I was playing on, makes this post where Joy passes away on my birthday. And I'm like, oh my God, no way. I was just talking to this dude. He seemed fine. He was kind of giving me some shit. But we're just kind of like joking back with each other, making plans. And it freaking rocked my world. I was so, words can't describe it. I didn't even go to his wake or funeral or whatever you call it, because I'm still in you're talking to someone, making plans. They look fine on social media, and then they pass away, and who knows what they're going through. Like this dude, he was making things happen at UWM. He was in this band, putting on these shows, to raise awareness from addiction recovery, smiling. I'm pretty sure he had a girlfriend, and then takes his life. And who would have thought? And this, when you're at the point of giving up, because I've been through it, and there's times where you catch it now because you go through it so much to a point where it's like before you end it all, you just wonder what would my life be like if I really did make it, or if I was happy with my life. And that's why I say keep showing up, because especially the times where you don't want to and you do, just like working out, just like the Instagram live that I did before, where I had to move. I was waiting on a client. I was gonna go for a walk on the sidewalk, and what do you know? I find this nature trail. And the other day too, where I was walking in the morning, I was just feeling so sluggish. And you ever get that feeling where you just wake up and you're like, you want to go back to bed almost every morning, but you're just so out of it where it's like that you get a few hours of sleep, which I've actually did recently when I was sick. But I told myself, keep going, keep going, keep pushing, keep pushing. Well, ooh, killer dog. That was funny. Uh, just lost on a train of thought. So think of a time when you just wanted to give up. Now, this could be give up on a project, give up on working out, martial arts, a job, a career. There's this cute brunette where I dropped my client off. And it's funny because you get those like aha moments where you think like, oh, I should have said this or I should have done that. Well, I got a chance to do that because dude left his wallet in my car, in my vehicle, the van that I took him in. And I ended up going back. Work allowed it. Like it's not my fuel. Hopefully I get paid for these hours. Yeah, I'll bring in your wallet back. Because I believe in karma. And if I put myself in a situation, I want someone to return my wallet too with all the money in it. Well, what do you know? The cute brunette that worked there, the caretaker, that kind of like, gives you the eye where it's like, are they doing their job and being nice to me? Or are they actually give you the look where it's like, okay, she definitely wants it. Well, that's the look that she gave me. And what do you know? I do nothing about it. I said something funny like, oh, I was going to go on a shopping spree. But what I really wanted to say was done on purpose. If you want an excuse to see me, just tell me, don't tell dude to leave his wallet in my van so you can come see me again. Well, that was there. And the whole drive back, it was like 35 minutes. I was thinking like, oh, and I was thinking about the way that she looked at me, because how many chances am I going to get with her? When am I going to see her again? And just any chances in life. I would always, man, for the last, I'd say at least 15 years now, especially the last almost 10 years, I would just say, okay, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. When I'm ready, then. When I'm ready, then. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. When I was living in sunny Florida, beautiful women, club scene's great. Wintertime was amazing because that's when people went out because it was nice out. And I would sit in almost every weekend convincing myself I was too busy, like I had too much work to do to go out and enjoy my life. I'd save it till summertime when I had more time, and I would just keep putting it off. And what do you know? Fall 2018 happens. I moved back up to Wisconsin right before wintertime. Oh, that was a humbling move. And I'm just thinking like, oh my God, where my chances to go out in Florida are gone now. Except that 1 month I went down to fulfill my last year in a service, which I did go to EDC, Electric Daisy Carnival, because it just so happened to be in November. And oh my God, that was so fun. But it was such a tease because I went around and I went downtown that weekend too, like areas I used to hang out where I used to live. And I'm like, this is such a tease. Like I used to live here. Like, what am I doing? But I was miserable. I wasn't an IMC Nation. I only had a couple friends, and they didn't know anything about gaming. They're smart, and interesting things, take care of themselves, but they didn't know anything about what we know, IMC Nation. That's why living in a base is so important, because when I go to San Jose and I sit on Instagram Live, when I stay at base one or base two, just being around like-minded people and the conversations and wingmen, and it's like going to talk to a girl and knowing that like your wingman's got your back and they're going to help you and they're not going to cock block you or they're going to act all weird if you talk to a girl, and they're going to be there to support you. Man, so where am I going with this? When you feel like giving up, and it's funny because I'm like looking at neighbors and stuff when I'm talking on my phone. Uh, where am I going with that? So think of a time when you felt like giving up, and then someone close to you does something that reminds you how good you have it. That's what just happened to me. And boy, was it freaking freaky when it happened, especially on my birthday. And I gotta check in to see if I'm even playing this Saturday. But him and I used to party and drink a lot, like mainly drink, so much to the point where I had to stop going out because I get so bad. He was in his early 20s, I was in my upper 20s, and we really didn't drink together. I know he was going through some things. I saw like a couple posts where he got into some trouble, you know, but dude was going for his masters. Such a positive dude, always smiling, sober. And then that happened, just out of the blue. Okay, so where am I going with this? And I did not want to show up tonight. I did not want to go live. I just got done being sick after drinking out of a freaking bar glass. Like I can't even drink for my job as a wedding DJ, thank God. But just drinking out of a bar glass, you don't know all the germs that are being passed around. I just got done being sick after a wedding. That happens with my friend. And then I'm gonna feel sorry for myself and not go live. Well, here we are. The moments that you don't feel like showing up, that's when you should show up the most, because I'm taking this fuel, like this energy, and feeding my fire. Because what up, Aryan? I'm talking about my friend who just passed away. It's on my Facebook. If you scroll down a little bit, he actually, I believe he took his life on my birthday. And what was freaky about it is because I just got done talking to him the weekend prior, making plans. I was going to play at a show. We were going to do another collaboration. I don't know if you remember the DJ AM Travis Barker DJ drummer collaboration they did a long time ago. Well, him and I did that one night, and we were supposed to do it again. And then this happens, and I'm like, what the big wake up call, especially what I've been going through. So think of a time when you felt like giving up, and then someone close to you loses their life. I guess we'll just put it that way. And then you think like, man, how many chances am I going to get to achieve my goals? Like that Q Burnett I was talking about, where I had a chance to talk to her earlier, and then I get that chance, and I really don't do anything. I kind of choke on my words because it's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm working and everything, but when they give you that look, it's like it doesn't matter. It's like, as long as you don't really F it up and say something so like offensive to the point where you lose your job, I mean, I think it's okay, you know. so I'm not repeating myself here. Think of a time where you wanted to give up, whether it was with a relationship, a career, a hobby, a goal, and then someone close to you ends it all. Well, that's what I'm going through right now. And it's interesting because since I've been going out to Milwaukee almost every weekend, like that's where most of my connections are. That's where we've been doing our shows. That's where we're gonna be doing our tacos and tequila this September and our New Year's at the Palace, New Year's Eve. I've been DJing weddings almost every Saturday. One reason why I'm missing Flint Drop Fest in Michigan, where our Strangelove family is. And see, it's like I could go to that, but I'm catching up on bills, and it's like I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking at doing shows like our shows. I'm eventually going to be doing a show there. I'm looking at doing shows in California, mainly with my I Am to Nathan family. And where's I going with that? And I'm also catching up on bills. And I'm looking back at financial decisions I made that I'm paying for right now, like literally paying for, where it's like I can't make like a 12-hour round trip and camp out in the weekend and kick it with the homies, because I'm catching up on bills. However, I'm in an industry now where I'm getting paid to play music, and it's giving me confidence to put myself out there. And because when you're the DJ of a wedding, there's no room for mistakes. And I already made a couple. Like I forgot to play the last song that they requested, which I thought I did, but when you have so much going on and you don't write it down, you don't review your notes, you don't look at your timeline, it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. And it happened to me a couple times when I was working with another company when I was in Orlando, so much to the point where I quit. Well, why did I quit? Because I didn't learn from my mistakes. I didn't take those learning lessons as fuel my fire to persevere and be the best DJ yet. And you know what? People are, no matter what's going on, I don't care what's happening in the world, people are still getting married. And that's good job security. So, in my opinionated fact, one of the best DJs in Milwaukee, who I used to watch when I'd come up, as a young snowbird. I save all my partying for the weekend. I mean the summer. And boy, did I freaking piss. Oh my God, did I party? Why? Because I was escaping. And I thought I couldn't be myself going out. So I had to take this crutch called alcohol and whatever else that you could think of that I thought I needed to be out and socialize. Why? Because I wasn't happy with myself. I didn't think people would like me for my true, authentic self. And that's not fair to anyone, especially women that I meet when I'm out, because I'm not my real, authentic self when I'm drinking. So this guy that I get reacquainted with, who now is part of my tribe, he gave me this little like mixer DJ controller board to play on, because he told me out of all the DJs that come to him, I'm like the realest mother effer of them all, because they all want something from him. They want to take like, hey bro, can you get me on a list? Hey bro, can you give me this? Can you give me that? Can you give me this? And I asked him like, hey, how much? How much are you worth? Because I understand he is worth something. I want to make that worth his while. And I go and support him, because other DJs too, like other supporters, whatever, they probably come when it's convenient for them. Probably try to finesse and get something out of him. And he told me what happened when he first started, how this crew pretty much took over what he built. I can go into too much more detail because I'm one of the only few that he shared that story with. And then my crew comes in and he's like, thank you, finally. Some real mother effers that I can connect with, that I know it's like, what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. So this controller that he loaned me, and I said loan because even though he said give, it's ours. It's like, if something were to happen where, let's say, a mixer or like a piece of equipment goes out, we have this as backup. That's why I'm bringing it to every show. And now I can practice on and master my craft. And I'm just thinking like, man, I was watching this dude just a couple years ago, thinking I'm cool because I'm at like the same after party, and we're sharing things. And then all of a sudden, it's like I'm picking this guy up, taking him to the show, being a responsible driver. And yes, we end up going to a friend's house because when you're with some dudes that you can be real with, you know, you tend to want to keep talking till the next morning. Well, learning how to catch that because AZD's right. Nothing good happens after midnight because even if the headliner's on, like midnight, one to close, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling sluggish. Like I can't drink. I shouldn't drink like I used to because nothing came good out of alcohol when I was out. And he's going through some things too. He's taking care of his mom. My dad's still beating cancer. I'm living with him for the time being. Our other friend slash business partner, he's supporting his mom. Everyone's going through something. And then when you got two alpha males, like two egos going back and forth, things can happen. A fight could break out. So when these two travel members were going at it, and they would message me and telling me what the others said about them, which was almost like verbatim what they were saying to each other. What did I do? Because I've been there before. I've been the rope between a tug of war situation between two guys. Like, now I know what's going on here. This is what we're going to do. I created a group Facebook Messenger chat. I added them to, and I told them from now on, if one of you has something to say about the other one to me, put it in this group chat for the other one to see. And the show, 2 shows ago, I brought them together like, hey, we're family now, because before, when someone says or does something to you, first to ask, it's not them, it's what they're going through. Ask them, hey, is everything all right? Are you going through some things? I've been there because I'll never forget when I was going through some things at my base, my squadron in Milwaukee, because how do I explain this? During the week, you have more chiefs than Indians. So when you're preparing for a deployment and you have to get paperwork done, but yet when you're working on base and you have work orders to get done, you have one superior telling you to get the paperwork done, and you have another superior telling you to get the work orders done. So when you let one fall behind, you're going to hear it from one or the other. Well, I definitely heard it from my supervisor. And it's kind of talking down to me, and like I wasn't man enough to speak up for myself at the time. But I'll never forget what his supervisor, his boss, said to me was, "Are you okay?" Which I wasn't. I was going through some things. I know how to speak up, and I told her, this is what's going on. But I really appreciated that because my supervisor called me out several times in front of the entire shop, so much to the point where I didn't realize how it felt until I did it to one of my trainees, and I'm like, "Oh, that's messed up." One thing you don't do is call someone out in front of everyone. You take them out to the side. Hey, is everything okay? I've noticed this about you. What's going on? How can I help you so we can get this done? And it was funny too because this is before I deleted him off of Facebook because I post things on there and he would call me out on it. But I'm like, but your boss likes it. So you're telling me, watch what I'm posting, but yet your supervisor is liking my post. What should I do? So what did I do? I deleted him. And that was the last I heard of that. So, moral of the story, when you feel like giving up, just keep going. It's not like a country song, but when you're going through hell, just keep going. Is there any questions, comments, anything, ahas, anything anyone would like to share here? It's been about a half hour, and I'm not going to keep rambling here. Just me showing up, just doing this is huge. Any questions, comments? Blank stares at your screen because you're looking at something. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Well, that's it then. I'm going to close it out. If you would like a free one-on-one clarity call. Yes, Ryan, is your microphone unmuted? Thank you,
It
Aryan.
is.
Same to you, brother.
Right.
Okay, there we go.
One.
Ryan of Primal Sutra.
Indeed. Every time you feel cheap, you lean into abundance. Every time you feel, how would you say this? Every time you feel like you're giving up, while you know the situation requires you to become an absolute monster, you just do so. That is the lesson. So I'm passing the ball to Arian. What do you have to say about that?
All right. Sorry, I was trying to unmute. I'm actually on my cell phone right now. I'm not on my laptop. I'm just trying to
Do
get
we
a bunch
know
of
each
shit
other,
done.
Arian?
Uh, like personally or what?
Have we spoken before?
Yeah, bro. We've I probably look different to you because I have my hair spiked and I got my glasses on and I fucking look a lot better than when I was just wearing a fucking my cat backwards and shit. So here let me pop this goddamn thing on here. Can you see me?
Yeah, we don't see you, so I have no idea which
Ah,
area I'm talking to.
hold up. Let me here we go. Start that.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
now
bro.
now I remember.
Yeah,
What's up, my
yeah.
man?
What's
My
good, my
apologies.
dude?
I
Oh, you're
just
good,
came
good.
back from a salsa party. My legs are sore, and I'm
Nice,
like, it's
nice.
2 in the fucking morning. So I'm like, let's catch up with Tony, see what's happening. So when I
I
read your
feel it.
message, like, which Aryan has the nerve to tell me this shit? It's like, oh, you, okay, we're good, we're good.
This motherfucker right here. So so you'll have to forgive me. I'm doing this new keto diet. I'm experimenting with it. I'm doing a whole bunch of
Mm,
shit. I'm doing like a challenge for August where I'm challenging people to do 100 push-ups a day. For me, that's
nice.
easy, and I'm trying to like double up and go to the gym and do that shit. Going to the gym and doing that challenge is kicking my ass a little bit. So now I'm gonna kick my ass a little bit more, and instead of just eating a bunch of food to try to recuperate, I'm gonna be on a keto diet, which is technically just meat and cheese and veggies, but I don't like cheese because it's fattening as fuck. So basically, I'm just eating meat and veggies. So
Mm,
it shit makes me fucking hungry. Like I'm way
yeah, I can
hungrier than
imagine.
I've been because like there's no carbs. But so what I think about this, um, I think Tony, I think you just need to be the fucking man and lead this shit. That's
Mm,
what I think. I think you just need to fucking uh, help. You need to find the courage in yourself and fucking lead. Let me tell you, I not too long ago, I was fucking dealing with some internal shit myself. So one of the
mm,
things that I was dealing with what's colloquially called the monkey mind, also known in I looked this up uh, through the scientific term. It's the default mode network in your brain, where when you're not
mm,
doing a task or some shit, your the inactive parts of your mind start creating something to do. It's your inactive parts of your mind talking to you, and so sometimes they give you good ideas, sometimes they don't. But like sometimes my mind just needs to shut the fuck up, and like sometimes I'll say that I'll be like, bro, just shut the fuck up. Like I just don't want to fucking listen to you, and it'll do that. Like there was one time when I was practicing it because I started looking it up, started looking on the Gaia network and shit. Gaia's a great network, actually. Um,
mm,
Dr. Joe Dispenza, definitely helpful and
mm,
shit. So one time, my mind had created this whole like fucking thing. And then I thought about it and then it snapped into my head. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the default mode network talking to me. And so when I responded, I said, cool story, bro, tell it again. And then my brain was like, shut the fuck up. And then it just stopped. And then it just stopped
Agreed.
telling the story.
Did you
And
watch
then
the movie Revolver yet?
I haven't seen it yet, dude. I've been
Oh,
busy as
please
fuck.
watch it.
Okay, Revolver. I'm
Whenever.
gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out
It's exactly
today.
what you're talking about
Yeah.
with that British dude from the Transporter. Great movie.
Oh,
It's
okay.
exactly what you're talking about, but then filmed, and it's like you need to watch the film at least twice.
Okay.
Because first time you're like, whoa, and the second time, like, I understand how these things happen. And you're like, it's like a rewatchable movie. Great fucking movie. It's so underrated.
And it's called Revolver.
Revolver, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that tonight then. I have got somebody coming over, so I'll put that on. Like, and I'll actually watch it. It's not just gonna be, background
Mm,
stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Good, but
yeah,
I like
so
what you're doing. I because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
not a lot of people can handle that level of hunger to that extent. And here's the thing, coming from Prima Sutra, maybe this is the time to feel hunger, so you can, cultivate the level of aggression that
Mm-hmm.
you need. Because, man, shit that makes me aggressive, being hungry. Being hungry for a long time, I'll kill somebody. So, like,
So for
like the
me,
level. Mhm.
sorry,
For
I didn't
you,
mean to cut you off. For me, when I'm hungry, it makes me more. It makes me just more alive. It, like, my
yeah.
brain is active, and like the good parts of my brain that actually help me. I'm more motivated to work out. I'm more just active. I get shit done more. And then I'm also taking ashwagandha again. Ashwagandha. Okay? So I got a special concoction that I'll share with you guys. So I'm trying not to drink coffee as much because coffee kind of fucks with your system. But if you
Mm,
drink like 1 cup of coffee, or even 2 cups of coffee and 1 cup of ashwagandha, it's like a power combo because the caffeine, hypes you up, but the ashwagandha will calm you down. But both of them together really activate my mind. And so, like, I come up with all these great fucking ideas, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's a great idea. And like, it just really, like, when I'm DJing and shit, like, I'm learning, like, now I'm learning how to mix genres, Tony. So I'm not just doing, and when I say genres, I'm not just meaning electronic genres. So I decided, and this is for Tony. I don't know if you DJ or anything, Ryan. If you do, then maybe
I
this will be cool for you.
dance.
Hey, I'm starting to dance too. We'll get into that in a little bit. Um, so Tony, I decided, you know what, fuck just doing electronic stuff. I'm getting back into my metal roots, and so what I'm going to do is I'm mixing a little hip hop in there, and then I'm mixing metal as well into my electronic music, and that's just what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not just going to be uh, house, techno, and hip hop DJ. I'm going to mix some metal in there, and even some,
Mm,
like, all the music that I like, and I'm really going to fucking just do it my way because I'm working with this other DJ down here who runs his own group as well, and he's like, and I inspired him because he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do Latin music and cumbia and shit. I'm like, you should. I said, fucking play that shit, dude. Like, mix that in. Don't just do electronic music. Like, electronic's the new pop. I feel like I'm limiting myself by doing this shit. And then as far as dancing, I want to hear what kind of style you're doing, Ryan. So I do like shuffle and shit, shuffle dancing
ah,
and whatnot.
I haven't heard of shuffle in so long.
Right, right. That shit's been like forever. But it's been fun. I actually learned it when I was in high school dating one of my ex-girlfriends. She showed it to me, and I was like, oh, it's pretty fucking cool. And now that no one actually does it anymore, whenever I go out to a nightclub or some shit and like I'll shuffle a little bit, people are like, "Oh, it's fucking cool." Even like doing it in remember, Tony, when you came out and you went to the Continental with me. So I do a little shuffle at the Continental and shit, and people are like, "Oh, it's pretty fucking sick," you know. So I'm trying to just get that shit going and creating a new fucking event company which is gonna combine self-development with actual events because, like, I'm throwing sober parties and shit and doing like hiking events and all this shit because I'm just so fucking tired of seeing everybody acting like a drugged out fucking zombie. It's just aggravating. And then, I mean, have you ever been sober and then you try to talk to someone who's even just drinking alcohol? If they're drunk, you're like, damn, bro, like, you need to sober up or something. And then I thought, I'm like, damn, is
Yes,
this how I sound when I fucking am drunk? Like, I sound like a dumb fuck.
Mm,
And
absolutely.
yeah, so I'm trying to do more sober shit. I mean, right now, since I started the keto diet thing, I'm not gonna be drinking any alcohol, but like, because I'm doing the whole keto thing the full way. Um, but like, I would, even when I would just drink one or two drinks, I would still, have the default mode network go off. In fact, I think alcohol makes it go off even harder because it starts telling you a lot of shit that just random ass shit that's not even necessarily true, and that makes you feel some type of way because it just, alcohol works on your entire brain, so it disinhibits you, so your emotions are higher. Default mode network is talking more, so you're fucking just more, you're just more of a sensitive little bitch. Like, that's all it really is. That's why people get emotional and they fight and they fucking do all this shit. And I mean, it doesn't even matter if you talk to people. It's because they're so stuck in their emotions and shit, because they're disinhibited. So the parts of your brain that stop you from saying, hey, I need to chill out, those are gone. And so you're like, oh, no, you're so trapped in the emotion or trapped in your head. It's just fucking stupid. And so, like, the past month, I've just been getting shit done and going, and like, things are going much better than they were. Like, I just, sometimes you need to take care of you. You need to get your shit in order before you can, like, try to take on the world, as it were. So
Right.
how this relates to you, Tony, is, you need to be the leader. You need to be the man. I mean, you're in a good crew over there in Michigan. But one thing, and I'm not saying this to be an asshole or anything. I think you need to step it up, bro. And by step up, I mean lead. Like, I'm leading other people. I'm leading this dude who's got 15,000 people in his group, but all his events are shit. And I'm like, bro, let me fucking get your shit on point. This dude has so much respect for me now because I'm taking action and I'm fucking leading this motherfucker, and I'm leading a bunch of other people. And like, that's what everybody needs, is people to lead, but leading with like understanding and like a plan. Because it's one thing to think hey, I'm gonna fix everything, but it's another thing to actually have a good plan that is worth following. You know, any good leader has been a good follower. So like, when I do this shit, I'm like, if I was in this dude's position and I had some other guy coming to me telling me this shit, like, how could I phrase this? And I'm still not the best in like communicating everything that's in my mind, but I mean, compared to the average person, I am fucking light years ahead of people. Um, so from what it sounds like, Tony, I mean, I just think you need to maybe take a little time to yourself, uh, get you right, and then come up with some ideas of things where you can make some win-win situations for everybody, because that's one of the things, that's one of my superpowers. That's something that, when we were doing Animus Rising, Arash was like, you gotta fucking be a winner. You gotta fucking start learning to win and start like making that shit happen. But it's not just winning for you. It's about winning for everybody, because the most alpha motherfucker, and you can even find this in the animal kingdom, the most alpha animal actually helps their entire tribe win. The most alpha animal actually like mediates issues and arguments with other members of the tribe. They're not necessarily getting involved, but they mediate. So they, let them get it out, but like, they get involved when shit gets too fucking hairy and shit, so to speak. Forgive the pun. Um, no pun intended, but it was a little funny to me. So I think you just need to find the leader in you. Don't just be a wolf, Tony. Be like the fucking leader wolf. Be the fucking alpha wolf, and fucking find a way to help all of those people win. Like, okay, so your friend passed away. That happened to me last year. I had a bunch of people who actually like used to be promoters for me kill themselves, and like, one dude, like, that dude had a more ripped and jacked body than a lot of fucking people, because he was working so hard, but he felt stagnant. He felt like he was never going to be improving, even though he was doing all of these things to improve. He felt his life in general was not improving. And he was just like, he gave up. He's like, dude, I'm doing all this fucking shit. I didn't know this until like his brother had said this shit, wrote it all over his fucking thing and all this shit. But like, what you got to do, you just got to find a way for everyone to win. That's the key. That is the key. The best leader finds a way for everyone to win. So like when kings, emperors, whoever, the people in power, when they win, when they conquer a kingdom, they have to make that kingdom better than it was. Like you can't just conquer a kingdom and leave it and let it be a total piece of shit. You have to increase your kingdom so that everybody, like look at America, for example. The homeless people in America, it's been studied that the homeless people in America are much better off than almost any other country in the world. So it's better to be homeless here in America, and it's even better to be homeless in California and even in San Francisco than it is to be homeless anywhere else, because you have greater opportunity to at least survive better. There's more, I mean, like all these grocery stores, they throw food out in their garbage, and there's a lot of people who dumpster dive. There's a lot of people, and let me tell you, there's a lot of packaged food, so people can eat that shit. In other countries, there's not necessarily that. Like there's, they might throw away rotting food or something like that. I can't speak for every country, but like it's just better to be homeless in this country. So therefore, when you're leading your people, you have to make sure that your group, to be a part of your group, and like the lowest member of your group is still better off than the lowest member of any other fucking tribe, organization, whatever. So if we're talking music collectives, Tony, or whatever kind of group you want to call your group, people in your group need to be doing better. They need. So one thing that I'm doing that I didn't used to do was I never used to pay some of my DJs. I would pay like the headliners, of course, because you have to, and then like the ones who decided they wanted to stay there. But like I didn't any of the past the DJs on random nights nor him, but that was also kind of starting out, so I didn't like have the money to do so. Fuck, it's worth throwing them like $100 or something. I mean, it's worth it for their time. And people, let me tell you, I've grown in popularity simply by paying my DJs. There's the best nightclubs in San Francisco don't pay their DJs. They only pay the people who work directly under them on the payroll, and they only pay the headliners because that's under contract. But they don't pay any of the supporting talent. They don't pay any of the supporting talent at all. And so I'm coming for all of those fucking venues, because they're all, and the people who run them, they're actually a bunch of pieces of shit. And when I say that, like they're not necessarily pieces of shit as like, oh, they're terrible human beings, but like they are operating off of old ways to try to make more money for themselves. And because they're trying to make more money for themselves, other people are not benefiting as much as they can. And so the whole industry is not benefiting, and it's actually making everybody look like a piece of shit, because a lot of people give up because they're like, oh, I'm not even getting paid, blah blah blah, I drove all this way, fuck these people. And that's wrong. I fucking was not paid for a couple things. I'm not going to mention the nightclub, but it was on my birthday, and they told me, they said, hey, I knew one of the promoters, he's like, hey, if you come through with just one person, I'll give you $50. And I said, okay, cool, man. So I came through with my homie, and they're like, invoice me. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here with this invoice me. Take 50 out of the fucking till and just give it to me. Like, don't give me this fucking invoice me bullshit. Because all they try to do is try to fucking make it so that they don't have to pay you. They just keep creating little roadblocks so that they don't have to pay you. So that's the thing. So as that relates to Tony's problem, that's just an example of something you could do. I don't know what you do. I don't know if you pay your people. I don't even know what the issues they're facing are. Yeah, go ahead.
Give my insights in this.
Yes.
So when I was working for Nike, like almost half a year ago, right?
Mhm.
I realized that the old team very much wanted to continue taking credit. So as I became a senior member of the team, I realized that that's not how we're going to play this game this time.
Mhm.
We're going to play this a little bit different because getting credited for your work does not mean you're getting paid more. So
Mhm.
then I devised a new philosophy and I shared it with my team like, I don't give a damn who does the job as long as the job gets done.
Mhm.
I don't care if I do it, you do it, your grandma does it. I don't even care if our manager does it or the client just figures it out for by himself. I don't care. Did the job get done on time in the correct way? Fantastic. So let's stop being children and get the fucking job done. Told
Mhm.
my manager straight to his face, listen, if another team can do this better than me and I get it done, I have done my job. I don't need to do the work. If someone else can do it better and has the time for it and wants to do it for me for free, thank you. I'll buy you lunch. You think I give a shit? And at some point, right, we need to have a bigger vision, because that's how everybody wins, right? The unfortunate consequence of my philosophy was one, we automated everything to the point where the team kind of got split up because we were too good at our job, which um well, on the one hand, too bad I had to go. On the other hand, I'm earning more in another company, so it's fine. But the principle stays. I don't have to do everything. I do what I'm really good at, and if I can find a team that really know how to do this better, we do it better. And plus, here's the thing: just because things are going the way they are does not mean we can't figure something out to improve our situation. To give an example, at Nike would have something called, well, during the COVID, it was handy to have like data on order shipments, etc., right? So that means certain um data loads need to be handled properly. But what you would have, what we figured out was almost 4 terabytes was being loaded. 4 terabytes for, I don't know, 5 6 years, maybe 10 even. And then we asked the obvious question: how much data do they actually need to see at a time? They only need 3 months. Now imagine our surprise when we heard that shit. We immediately just, we immediately just handled it with the right team and only loaded, 3 months at a time with like a 1 day difference increment, going forwards. And where the data load would maybe cost, almost 12 hours, shit was on a dream. And I was like, why didn't the last team figure this bullshit out? You know what I mean? It was just a simple check. So does the next principle is, do we understand our clients? Are we making assumptions that are fucking us in the ass? The original team made the assumption that data was needed. We decided to double check with the clients and just ask, okay, but do you want to see all the data in one go, or are you just using a certain period at a time? And maybe if you want to look at the historic data, once in a blue moon, you look at it and then we figure out, okay, we're being idiots. So the words of my wrestling coach, stop being an idiot and just ask the obvious questions. So the obvious question for me, because I'm heading to Costa Rica this Sunday for the second Primal Sutra international event ever, um, is what are obvious things that I want to do there? Game. I want to have fun. I want to go salsa dancing. I want to do this and that. So I'll be by myself for at least 4 days before the premium student comes and soon Dr. Scripps comes. So I need to have everything handled as far as the food in the house, etc. We managed to fix a very nice villa with a pool, a sauna, etc. And always be on the offense. I've lost a lot of fights lost a lot of job opportunity because I was too defensive, too much in thinking mode, and too little in just getting the fucking job done mode. Just comes from a specific spirit. There's a time for emotions to have those handled. Let's say to shadow work, to whatever, to Zen Buddhism, Stoicism, whatever you want, or the combination of. But handling emotion does not mean the job is done. What it means is we just free it out of our mind so that a job can be done easier or with less mental strain. So thus my conclusion, fuck the emotions for a second, get the fucking job done. Because people are counting on you. Right? I mean, shit, when are you going to step into a better version of yourself? Every time you
Great
make
point. Great
exactly
point.
right. Every time you make the right decision. And here's the thing, no one has to tell you what to do. That's one of the things I've concluded. No one has to tell you what to do because you already know instinctively, intuitively what the right thing to do is. And for me, it would be going to bed because it's almost 3 in the morning and I need to catch up with some sleep. So that being said, Arian and TK, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.
Peace out. Good talk, my friend.
I just noticed I was muted. Peace, Ryan. Towards the end of the hour, anything you like to close on, Arian? If not, we'll wrap
Yeah,
this
let's
up.
close. It is what it is. Be the best. Fuck the rest.
That's right. Be the best. Fuck the rest. And remember, show up for yourself. Show up for others. Keep showing up. See you on the next one.